With the economy the way it is today, everyone's looking for a leg up. My Credit Kings can help you do that. We offer a free consultation and 1 month free credit repair. All you got to do is click the link below at mycreditking.com. How do you normalize bad behavior and how do you normalize crime? Well, you start with the young ones first and you make it humorous. You see, at least what they consider humor. You make something out to be more funny than anything else and people will eventually buy it. Not only buy it, they'll think, man, that would be a good idea if it were real. Recently, we saw a picture of this little black kid with an ankle bracelet on. Now, people say it's parody, but I want to run something down the rabbit hole for you guys real quick. How much is parody when the actuality of it happens in real life? What happens when parody meets reality and people embrace the parody and make it become reality? Far too often, we see people doing this exact same thing. They will try and test the market to see whether or not something is plausible to sell or plausible to push. And how do they do that? They market it in humor. We've seen it all the time. SNL does it, right? They'll tell you something, some kind of a really off-color joke, sometimes about, like, say, abortion. And people are, ha, 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 that's so funny, and ha, ha, ha. And then you start seeing people making it normal. In fact, you start seeing them putting it a part of protests and stuff like that. So this image that you're about to see is going around right now on Instagram. And a lot of the comments under this picture has us thinking that society has completely lost its ever-living mind. And when we say that, we're not even remotely joking either, because we don't do them kinds of jokes. But these people find it absolutely hilarious that a little black boy is pictured wearing an ankle monitor. Now let's run something past the social media platform real quick. If you were to make a, say, lynching doll, how fun do you think that would be? You think that would be hilarious for people to say, like, man, I can't wait to own me one. And someone says, that's just disgusting. That's in poor taste. And people be like, well, you just don't have a sense of humor. Is that humorous? Does anyone find lynching hilarious? No, but you don't mind poking fun at the prison system, though, because especially at the expense of a child and especially at the expense of a certain demographic. You don't find a problem with that, though. That's completely funny. Here's the problem. What you find funny, the same people pushing this idea will find sellable. Not only will they find it sellable, they'll actually make the product. And you know who's going to buy it? Stupid people. And I mean that in all seriousness, stupid people will buy it. And those same people will not only promote it, but will find not just humor, but really relatability to it as well. They will think to themselves, man, this is so close to reality, I can't help but find it funny. And they're going to put this on their kids and have them walk out the house with it and walk to school. It's going to become a badge of honor. It's going to become something so cool to them. And when they get older, having one, not a problem, especially when it becomes real. This is what will happen. They are normalizing a criminal lifestyle by using, hear me out, using the black children as their puppets. Unfortunately, the black adults are the ones buying it. I don't even know how someone could look at this and think, that looked like it'd be a good joke. Let's run down some things. What kinds of people have to wear, say, an ankle monitor? Someone either on probation, someone being targeted by the police, someone with a pretty extensive criminal record. And it doesn't really matter whether or not you think it's petty crime or really, really bad crime. It's crime. Are we trying to tell children it's normal and okay to commit criminal activities? That's essentially what you're telling them. Not only is it okay, it's cool. It's so cool that it's funny to everybody and it's okay for you to do. This is where we are in society right now. And we're so silly that we don't even realize that the people pushing this are testing us to see what we will and won't buy. They are putting all these things in front of you and saying, hey, wouldn't this be funny if it were true? Even the New York Post, at the end of it, in a little snippet of their advertising and about one of their things, they said, this would be awesome if it were in a reality, you know, with the way children behave, this would sell like hotcakes. I want you to think about what type of mindset it takes. There are two things that are problematic here. One, yes, that racial dynamic to it, but two, the thought process of parenting. If you find it that your way of parenting has to be to confine your child in a prison type way, you are not a parent. What you are is a loser. You don't know how to parent and you never wanted to be one. In fact, you find some of the most disgusting things okay to do as a parent, if you find that hilarious. Unfortunately for us, in today's society, there are far too many of them. If you watch the decay of society now, you will find the number one cause for that is a lack of proper parenting. And a lot of these people that go around just sleeping willy nilly with anybody and having children any whole how, and some of them just not even bothering to have the kids by aborting them. But the ones that do have become deadbeats, both moms and dads. And if you do find yourself involved in your child's life, you try and influence them in some of the most ridiculous things imaginable. Welcome to this part of our conversation where they're trying to influence children into thinking an ankle monitor, man, that's a good thing. You can wear one as a child. Now, they have even made a parody app for this thing. Let me ask a question. If there is a parody app made for it, you don't think that they've already branded the idea as something marketable? You see, everyone's going to think, well, it's such a good job of making it look fake. Anything that you can make look that realistic has already been manufactured. It's already in production. They're just waiting for the idiots to see who will buy it. And unfortunately, the picture that is of that black boy with the little ankle bracelet rang up almost 600,000 views. And the majority of people that were pushing back on it, saying it's not funny, this is not something we should be promoting, were met with immediate backlash, some of them to the tunes of almost 200 comments telling them to shut up and find a sense of humor. Do you understand where this puts us as a society? Do you see the downfall coming? It's partially here, but I'm talking about the complete collapse. You see, people are going to use this idea of the stereotypical black person in media, the stereotypical black person in all of the arenas. They're going to take advantage of this. And you see in situations like this and in toys like this, they're going to use people's ignorance to sell it. Rap has made it either marketable to be a gangster, marketable to be a criminal, or hilarious to be that. Racist white people have found it to be hilarious for a long time. But who is really the one that's suffering here? Our kids. An impressionable blank slate is being written on by some of the most deplorable people on earth. And everyone's just sitting back cackling, laughing about it. It's just so funny. Find yourself a sense of humor. The same people would probably laugh at something like when The Rock made that joke about the child molesting robot. Everyone found that funny for some reason, right?
It's a robot that is designed to molest children. And I call it Robo Chomo.
And what has become normal now in that circle? Precisely. Now, maybe some of you may not find this, I don't know, aggravating. And some of you may have found yourself laughing initially when you saw it. But I'm going to ask you to park your humor bone for just a second and run that dynamic down the road just a little bit. Imagine a parent, and this becomes a reality, this bracelet becomes a reality, and a parent buys it as something cool for their kids. The kid goes to school. The kid wears it around and everyone's like, man, how did you get that? And then the kid tells, my parents bought it for me. Now, mind you, everybody that gets those knows exactly what it is. Now, don't tell me their parents aren't going to know or their parents won't tell them. That kid has now, in his mind, made a positive connection to criminal activity. Do you think he's going to shy away from it when it becomes a real thing, when he realizes, I could get a real one? Like an actual working one? Psh, bet. It might sound far-fetched, right? Okay, but y'all don't have that same energy when it comes to guns, though, right? You give a little cap gun. Don't give them that. They'll become criminals and shoot people. But an actual bracelet that reflects criminal activity, directly reflects criminal activity, that's different. You see, because if I gave my son a water gun, he could easily be a cop, right? Or someone in the army. But an ankle bracelet is directly 100% directly related to crime. And we are telling our kids that'll be cool. Don't give me that correlation. It doesn't make sense. I hope the person that posted this, created this, whatever it is that is real or not, has a change of heart. I highly doubt it because, unfortunately for us, we've seen the results of what the picture yielded. It's making all kinds of positive headways. Laughter. Man, I wish it. There was one comment on there made by a black individual, by the way. Oh, look, and he's diabetic too because of how many toes the little character had. Now, if people are going to get upset at racial jokes poked at people, especially for the black diaspora, how is it that we're okay with poking the same jokes at each other? If it's so bad, if it's so detrimental, if it's so destructive to the black community, why are we indulging in it? Because you bought the goods. You yourself have bought into the very thing you think that you're fighting. Under the guise of what? So funny. He didn't mean anything by it. Well, if that's what you want to laugh at, laugh at it. Here's the problem, though. Don't complain about your children when they do come home with a real one. You're the one to blame. You normalize it. You made it seem cool. If your child decides to run down that whole idea and become a known criminal, you can't get mad at nobody, not the cops, not society, not the laws. That's on you. Because you told them it's fine. That's okay. It's hilarious. It's funny, son. Then he gets shot. And you want to blame somebody else when you put it in his head to begin with. Do better, people. Do better. Your children's lives depend on you doing better. Not everything that someone tells you is funny is a joke. Not everything that some idiot thinks is funny is funny. Sometimes these people are looking for a way to destroy you, and you are giving them ammunition. That's like somebody breaking into your home, pointing an empty gun at you, and you say, here's a loaded magazine. Use this instead. It'll make your impact way better, and it'll be funny. That's how silly this is. Unfortunately for us, society has way, a long time ago, gone past intelligence and has completely given up itself to everything destructive, this included. For those of you who are awake and can see this for what it is, I beg of you, bombard that comment section with why is this funny? Go after them. The same way they come to hit back, you hit back just as hard. We can outdo them. Because if you don't stand up for the kids, nobody will.